Hi, I'm Tanya Powell-Edwards. I'm the CEO of Tanya's Body Care. This really came about because I was searching for an option for my deodorant that was really messing up my cotton shirts at the time. And when I was washing, I just couldn't get the stains out completely. So I decided to do a internet research, and while I was researching, I came upon something that says, why not make your own? I was like, that's crazy, who makes their own deodorant? And almost as I thought that, something said, but why not try? I looked at the ingredients and saw that everything that was on the list were actually items that I had in the kitchen. I was like, okay. So I jumped out of the bed. This was like 5 o'clock in the morning, got out of bed, started mixing, and I spent the rest of the day walking around the house with my husband and children saying, smell this, smell that, smell that. And at the end of the day, we were pleasantly surprised that it worked. Now, anybody that knows me know that I am, once I learn something new and it's stimulating for me, I am going to share it with the world. So as I got to work, got to church, anybody that would listen to me, I was sharing with them about this, and I guess they saw the passion. So people started saying, I want to try, I want to try. And that's how the business was born, because if I'm going to be buying stuff to make things for people, then I needed to recover some of the cost. And so that's really how we got started. Officially, it started in September 2015. And I'd say for maybe about a year before that, I had been trying making my own deodorant, doing my own oils for my skin and so on. So predominantly I do soaps, right? But in addition to soaps, I do oils for the skin. I do a garlic oil, and recently I added lotion, not even labeled yet, but I mean, the reviews on this lotion have been fantastic. We have a variety of soaps here, and I'm always making soaps, right? So some soaps are labeled and some don't have a label just yet. So let me introduce you to our activated charcoal soap, which is my bestseller at this time. And activated charcoal, not only do I love the color of it, this black and powerful soap, but the effects that it has on the skin is tremendous. And people always ask me, do you use your products? I only use my products when it comes to the skin. If I have a breakout, I'm going to turn to my activated charcoal. In addition to the activated charcoal, I do a turmeric soap, which is not here today. And then, of course, I do a lemongrass soap. Here we have bentonite clay, which is also a cleanser for the skin. And then if you want a scrub, then we have what I call exfoliate coffee scrub. And then I do other things like nutmeg. Did you know that nutmeg really has great benefits for the skin? I am also proud of the fact that I create what we call the boss, right? Now, if you think about a turmeric soap or an activated charcoal or bentonite clay, which have similar properties, the boss is the king and queen all in one of the soaps. So this beautiful soap here has your turmeric on top, and turmeric is not only a craze, it actually works. And then we have our cinnamon, which is another spice here, but to top it all off, we have some frankincense in there. Now, everybody knows about the benefits of frankincense from the Bible coming straight up. And then I do about 3 oils, but I have only one today, and this is our Jamaican ginger with lemongrass. I cater to persons who are interested in taking better care of themselves. So anyone can buy my product, but not everyone appreciates the product. So it's for persons who, you work hard, you get home, you're tired, and you need to do something for you. We're actually self-funded at this time. We have had some help from JBDC in terms of, I would say, mentorship and advice. They've been very helpful with that. We've had mentorship from Sisters Inc., Opal Levy and Associates, very grateful for that as well. And just a couple months ago, we were able to get vouchers for technical assistance from DBJ, which has assisted in some testing at the Bureau of Standards, as well as some additional training, short course training at UTech. But outside of those, it is replowing what we earn back into the business to try and get it to grow. So I actually started with like 2,000 Jamaican dollars out of my salary 1 month in. And when we made that back with an additional, with some profits, then it almost became intoxicating. So I make it, I buy more, I do more, you know. So the money came from salary and has been, I would say the business is basically self-funding to this point, though now we're going to have to look seriously at expanding and probably getting additional assistance to be able to do so. So I operate from home. Currently setting up an internet business so that I can make money while I sleep. And then we're in a couple locations. So we are growing. Earth Elements, we're in one store in Manchester so far, one in Clarendon, Spanish Town, a couple in Kingston. And of course, the idea is to get across the island, but we're proud of what we've been able to achieve in the time that we've been in the space. Production I mainly do alone right now. My family clicks in different ways. So my son is the media person, he's into photography, so he'll take the pictures of the products. My daughter is the marketer when we get to a location, a trade fair, so she'll say, "Mommy, I have this." My husband gets involved in the trade fair as well, but he's also very handy. So if I were to show you my soap boxes, which sometimes sell online for like $300 US in some cases, he actually goes to the hardware and buys the material and makes these for me. So everybody chips in different ways, and I am hoping that I am going to be able to grow the business to the point where this will become a legacy for our children. We have a culture of ensuring that everything that we do is quality. That's a guarantee that we have. We don't want anybody to, you know, buy a soap and it doesn't do what we promise. So we want to keep our promise to our users. A typical day now could be that I wake up in the morning and try to, you know, center myself, do my things to do, or the things that I'd like to accomplish. Sometimes try to find new markets or to go have a meeting with one of my mentors, because sometimes when you're growing, you don't know what the next move is, even if you have a growth plan. So you want to go with your mentor, see what's happening. So it could be delivering products, meeting with mentors, making products, or making decisions about whether I go deliver to Mandeville or how I get it done. It is an incredible journey of ups and downs, enjoyments and frustration, and for me sometimes amazement and bewilderment. So it's not boring at all, it's more challenging. It's like, okay, so I have this, and on a day when I'm thinking, you know, I don't think I can bother with this, it's too much work or it's too frustrating, the phone will ring. Somebody will say, I got your soaps last year. It has done wonders for me. Where can I get this? And I've had many of those calls. The days when you get frustrating, you realize that you're making a mark. People have now begun to depend on you for the items that you have. And so it says, hello, you can't jump out of this race just yet because there are people depending on you. And it's a good feeling. So it has been an incredible journey. Don't know what lies ahead, but I'm hoping that it's going to be huge, that I'll be able to scale up and to become truly island-wide and international as well. So what sets me apart is this. One, it's natural. If it's not natural, I'm going to tell you. So you have a choice. Two, it's likely to be very Jamaican in terms of the ingredients and so on. Whatever I say the soap does, it will do. And also that people tell us even more than what we tell them. People call back and say, this has removed a blemish, this has done so and so. One of the things that I'm very careful of is making huge statements about what it's going to do for you. My own strategy is, trust me enough, use it, you're going to call me and tell me what it has done for you. I mean, I can tell you what cinnamon does for the skin and so on, but it is such a great feeling that people call me and they actually tell me things that make me go, you know, but those are some of the things that set us apart. If it is not natural, if it's gonna harm the skin, we're not gonna use it. Not just to make money, no. I love to research. So sometimes I'll just go and say what's new in the DIY world. Secondly, sometimes I'll have a dream. Sometimes it's a conversation with people asking me, I need something for this specific thing. And so I'll go research it, because when you're talking to the individual, the problem they're trying to fix is such a bother to them. It's almost like you take on that you really want to help this person through whatever they're going through. So if I know what the skin condition is, I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to research. If the information is out there and we can find things that can help that condition, then we're going to try our best to make the product to help the person. One of the important questions that keep coming back time and time again, do you use your own products? To me, it's an amazing question. Why would I make a product and not use it? But to the customer, it's a very important question for them. They look at you, they look at your skin, they make decisions about how your own skin looks, and then they make decisions about the product. I have been to places where products are sold off just on the basis of my own skin. But the idea is that though we're in business to make money, the product must do something for you. So when I'm talking to people, it's not just about making a sale. It's about many times making a friend. I've had persons who've come to say, how can I get rid of bags under my eyes? And I'll say to them, get some rest. And in talking to them, you realize that they're going through some major things in their lives. So at that point, it's not about me selling an oil and saying, you know, use it. It's about what are you really going through in your own life? The products become secondary, you know what I mean? So it's really about caring for people. I think one of the things that you're challenged by is when you now begin to expose yourself to a wider space, you now have a lot more scrutiny. People ask you a lot more. And even sometimes people patronize you and buy a product, and they've just done it because they're at an expo, so they're not sure whether it's going to do what you really say that it, you know, they call later on and so on. Sometimes even being creative is challenging because you have to make decisions about, okay, do I do more bentonite clay or do I go do a new soap? Then acquiring funding is an issue. And then if you're like me, who started business without really wanting to start a business, I'm more creative, so I find it sometimes encumbering to sit down and do the business plan. And then finally, I realized that as an entrepreneur, seeking guidance from different people, if you're not careful, you could be, you know, you could find yourself in troubled waters where What you're doing is what everybody's idea of what you should do is, and not your own. So you have to grow to the point where you develop some amount of confidence in what you have to offer, and then you're able now to decipher, okay, I can go there with this idea, but how do I remain true to what I want to do and what I want to offer? For soaps and oils and so, you learn how to work with your recipes because you want your product to be the same. You know, once somebody has experienced it and have decided to trust you to come again, you want that experience to continue. One of the other things that I do is I encourage people to call me. And that's good and bad because you can be found. You're not far away, right? But I say to people, call me. Call me, tell me when it's good. And even though it may be painful, tell me if it's bad and how it has affected you, and then I'm going to do make good. One of the things that we're looking at is continuing to work firstly with my mentors. We've looked at our target market. We've looked at how many soaps can I produce per month. What are some of the equipment that is needed for that, where we need to operate from, because of course home is a private space. There are times when people want to come and take a look at things, it's not convenient. So we have a growth strategy that will see us moving from home, probably going into the center of the island, and also that we have interest from persons overseas, Jamaicans overseas, who are into natural care, and now we have to look at how do we grow to be able to fulfill that demand as well. Right now what we have are persons buying from Jamaica and taking back to their relatives, but we now have persons calling us and saying, how can we get a second or third bottle? So part of the growth strategy is also being able to fulfill those international demands. Social media is powerful, right? So we have an IG account. We're on that every day. We love IG. We have a Facebook account. We recently started a YouTube channel. We give away products sometimes for various events. We've done small sponsorships as well. We have been involved in different expos. And of course, sometimes like a SRC, Scientific Research Council, through which I got a lot of this training. Sometimes they'll invite us to events. And as much as we can, we don't say no. So those things get us out there, get us meeting people. And people are now getting used to our branding and seeing us and saying, hey, I use that product. I'm actually meeting people who go, oh, I use your activated charcoal, so you are so-and-so. So we're small, but we're growing, and people are learning about us and trusting us as well. I'm not sure if there is a pattern, and I'm sure there may be a formula, whether it is that it moves exactly as others say it does. I think it's kind of different for everybody. I think some people are born with that natural entrepreneurial spirit to succeed. I think there's no one formula. It may work different for everybody, but I think it's also important to listen to other people's stories. I think that if it makes you happy and you're achieving and you're impacting other people in a positive way, that is success. My greatest fear is someone being harmed by my products, and so therefore I make sure that I spend extra time to ensure that doesn't happen. My greatest fear is not growing to the point where I can expand and hire. But can I tell you that just recently something came to me, and it said, and I think it's the voice of God, and it said, your faith is bigger than your fear. And so in the last week or two, I have been repeating that to myself, repeat sharing it with other people, and just always saying, when the fear comes, my faith is bigger than my fear. So I'm not fearing not achieving, I'm not fearing failure so much, because my faith is bigger than my fear. I think knowledge motivates me. Learning new things and being stimulated by it, and then wanting to go out, and wherever the person is, as long as they have 2 ears and they're willing to listen, I just want to give it back to them. My faith stimulates me as well. Church, God, family, it's a lot of different people that are really there who have inspired me. Meeting people and listening to them and sharing what I think I have to help them, and then they calling me back to say, what you said is what has happened. In our Jamaican economy and growing up with parents who were poor, there have been many times when I have gotten frustrated, cried, want to give up, said, this don't make sense. But somehow it's like I was born with something that makes me give up for 2 seconds, and then I have to get up and go again. Doing this and doing it with my family, because family is important, and I wouldn't be able to do without them. And knowing that they trust me to make these things, and it's rewarding, because when people have high expectations for you, it causes you to grow, to become successful, to travel the world, to speak to thousands of people all over, to share with them my struggles, my journey, how I made it, and to be able to say to people that, you know, wherever you are in life, whatever you've been through, once you begin to look at yourself and deal with yourself, find your passion, then you can make it. I have to also say that I am huge on getting degrees, because education is important, but I really, really believe that in addition to that, you must have a skill. And those are the messages that I want to share with people, both locally and internationally. So my advice to young entrepreneurs or persons who want to start their own business is, first, research. Make a product. If it's a product that you want to do, a soap for example, make it for yourself first. Make it for your family. You have to give away some stuff as well so you can get the necessary feedback. Use Google. Look at whatever it is that you want to do. There probably is a video out there on how it's done, and also the business aspect of it. Then you have to take that from your private space, which is your home and family, and test it with some friends in a wider space, and keep recording that feedback. And enjoy the positive feedback, but when it's not so good, don't get angry. Listen to what people are saying, because they are probably giving you the cues that you're going to need to make your product even better. If you believe that you have an idea and you believe it can work, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with others, and just try. Just try. A lot of businesses fail many times before people meet success. And now in Jamaica, because of the economic situation, we're afraid of failure. But come on, think about, you know what they say about the grave, the cemetery being that place with so many people with talent who never try. You're not going to forgive yourself if you don't try. So get out there, test your idea with your family, friends, your community, and get into doing what you really want to do. Go for it.